Hey guys, I'm at Tour Camp this week, and that means that I will be recording on site and trying to post a couple episodes here. It'll have an uncommon name. I'm going to name it 397 point whatever, and call it all one episode, even though it'll be a couple of short episodes. This was suggested by a listener, and I really like this idea. So, just so you know, there will be probably some weird background noise. There will be some, off recording setups, and if you want to skip it, that's fine too. But I'm excited to talk to all these people at Tour Camp about security and hardware and fun hacky things. So, thanks for listening. Let's get started. This is the Amp Hour Podcast. Released June 20th, 2018. Episode 397.1. An interview with Monica Houston and Alessandra Nölting. Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Chris Gamble of Contextual Electronics.
Hi, I'm Monica Houston from Hackster.io.
Hi, I'm Alessandra Nölting, also from Hackster.
And we're on a boat. So we are currently sailing to Tour Camp.
Yes, we are
sailing. Quote unquote, air quotes.
We're actually sailing.
We are? I mean, the sails are up.
We're not moving very much.
They're
right
not
now.
very full.
I consider this sailing.
Yeah. We are drifting.
We have about 0.1 knots of wind.
Okay, yeah. It's summertime, so
It's a beautiful day.
It makes for a nice day, makes for a nice podcast recording. We were saying that we're really hoping we see a whale come up during the recording, but if we do, or if there's a ship coming, we'll probably take a break.
Gotta get out of the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Are we still in the middle of the shipping channel?
We are.
Okay. Not a lot of boats out here. So we were talking about it last night too. Like even on the way up here, in the middle of the shipping channel, there weren't many boats. I don't know if Seattle's not that popular anymore.
I mean, has it ever been? The grunge is over, so.
Yeah. So this all started when, so I had introduced a friend to a bunch of people I knew in Seattle, and then Monica wrote back to me, and you said, hey, why don't we sail to Tour Camp and go to Tour Camp? I'm like, I don't know what Tour Camp is. But you had never been before, right?
No, and I've never sailed to Tour Camp, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
None of us have been to Tour Camp.
No,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's all of our first year. We're making it uncool.
Watch out, Tour Camp. Here come the different type of nerds.
If we make it.
Make it, yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
if we get some wind and our engine holds up.
Some engine troubles yesterday. Yeah. I think, knock on wood, that they're over, but we'll see.
Right. Cool. So yeah, and I've talked about Tour Camp on the show in the past, I think, and I'm really excited for it. But we're going to be, we've got a book with us to do some ham radio testing.
Yes, yeah, we're going to do our ham radio license exam at Tour Camp. We still need to study a bit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it said 10 hours of study we need to do. Do we have 10 hours today, you guys?
Yeah, probably. We can get there.
Okay.
Get it in between sailing.
Yes, right. And there will be just general electronic. We got a bunch of electronics with us. We got some radios with us. And then Tour Camp will be, who knows? I'm not sure what to expect.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I am going to try and post an episode each day of the week here, so we'll see if that happens. But that's why this is on a Wednesday, if I post this today instead of a Sunday. But we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I'm excited about Tour Camp. It's really, like even out here, it's just so quiet and beautiful, and like mountains in the background.
Yeah.
So.
Did you guys look at the schedule at all?
No.
Not really. I know Bunny's giving a talk.
Oh yeah, that's all I know too.
I know Bunny's giving a talk, and I have to do a presentation.
I turned off the email notifications because it got overwhelming.
Yeah, right.
I just figure it out when we get there.
Yeah. So let's get a little background. So what are your backgrounds?
I was actually a film student in college. I did like a lot of Flash animation. And got into...
That's held up well.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why I'm currently not in film. Yeah. I thought that was going to be the future. I was so excited about learning Flash, and then, that went that way. It did. But then I started getting into website development, did a little bit of C# when I moved to Seattle, because that was a cool thing here, still is. And then learned how to do Arduino. My friend, actually, the weekend that I bought this boat, the Infinite Sloop, my friend John Winberg, he's really into Arduino. So he was like, I have to show you this cool thing I made. He had hacked a Wiimote to control some like LEDs in a panel.
Oh, nice.
And that was when my first introduction to Arduino. That was in 2012.
Okay.
And he showed me like the code, and I was like, oh, what? I could do this. Like I had no idea that I could control electronics. So I started getting really into Arduino and started a meetup for it in Seattle, the Seattle Arduino meetup, and that's been going for 6 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Alessandra, how about you?
I'm originally from Germany. Came to the States in 2005 for college, and after college I started a startup, which didn't go that well, but learned a lot.
Okay.
And then
No Zuckerberg money, but
no, but learned a lot, and then moved to New York. Worked as a product manager there for a while, and then I used to build a lot of stuff as a kid, and then I somehow,
We're tacking. Oops.
Oh, we're tacking.
We're tacking. Can you pull on that line behind you?
Yeah. Here we go. Live sailing sounds. Please stand by. Please stand by.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Up here.
Yeah.
Is
Gotta
it
loosen
stuck on
it.
this side?
Wait,
we're not the best of sailors yet. But, dolphin.
there we go.
It's probably good it's a slow wind week.
Okay, did we tap?
There is a dolphin right there. Like,
Where?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, that's really close.
Dolphin wants to get on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So product manager.
Right, yeah, and then I got into electronics around 2015, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a Hackster hackathon and then started working with them, and just sort of taught myself electronics and like building things. So
Cool. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And so what's going on in Hackster these days? So Hackster, I actually use as part of my job now.
yeah.
No kidding.
Well, the hologram, yeah.
Oh.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh, wait, like building projects on Hackster?
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen your projects yet. I haven't seen your projects. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's been good. And you just crossed the 500,000 member mark.
We did. We
Yeah, I saw
did.
that.
500,000.
It's a lot of people.
It's been a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we say we're on our way to 1 million.
Yeah, right. Now you've crossed it, right?
We can round up.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's been fun. People build all sorts of cool and crazy stuff on Hackster. And
Yeah, so for
always-
people who don't know what it is, what is Hackster?
It's a platform for learning electronics and posting open source hardware tutorials.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we have a big community of engineers, and it's nice because all the tutorials are templated, so you have your story, your schematics, your code, so you know where you have like opening up a tutorial and being like, oh, there's no instructions.
Right. What am I looking at here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that does help actually.
Yeah. And we do a lot of fun contests, a lot of fun prizes, and usually with a new product that's come out, people can learn about it and
Right.
see what they can create.
Yeah, it does seem like there's a lot of chip companies that like to do startup contests on there. They
Yeah.
have a new product, they want to promote it,
Yeah.
get some people building in the community.
Yeah.
I hesitate to say free labor, but it's community contributed projects. So
yeah.
Right.
I think that a lot of companies are actually catching on to that, and that's good because ultimately people that are like listening to this or out and just looking for something new to try, that's a good place to go and start and like be like,
Yeah.
oh, I could learn something new and I could get some free stuff, maybe get paid for it, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And-
win
Yeah.
prizes,
Yeah.
learn.
Making a nice portfolio too, also.
Yeah, exactly.
Students, it's really good for students
Yes.
to like make a good portfolio.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally agree with like that portfolio idea is like big part of contextual electronics, which we are flying the flag right now too. I have a
Yeah.
picture. I'll post the picture of that. We're flying the flag on the infinite sloop. So
Got the Hackster flag.
yeah, should have brought the Hackster flag.
And our pirate flag. which
That's
is
right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's great though. That's great. So what's next on the road to 1 million for Hackster?
Well, I'm doing a bunch of events actually with ARM, the ARM Innovator Tour. So I just got back from Tokyo and Taiwan. Just got back.
Yeah, right. Had some trouble sleeping, right? Yeah.
So yeah, there's 3 more events in China that are happening this week. So those are events just like to encourage innovators, like local innovators, to come out and share what they're working on.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm working on a big yearly annual contest that we're going to be doing where the idea is that each year we'll focus on a environmental or social issue. And this year we're focusing on saving the oceans. So the idea is to develop open source hardware solutions for saving the oceans.
How apropos. We're on the oceans.
We're on the ocean. We've seen
have you
a
thought
lot
about a
of...
wind machine? We could really use that.
Yeah. Get another boat next to us with a big fan.
Right. They could just follow us along with like a diesel engine. Like.
Or catch a tow on one of these whales.
Yeah, right.
Might go underwater.
Right.
Yeah.
On a whale.
So when does that start? And what's the
Hopefully
date?
launching this summer, around August 1st. Right now, we're still haven't officially launched yet, but you can sign up on impact.hackster.io for an update when it does launch.
Mm-hmm.
And launching this summer.
That's great. What are you hoping to see on there? Like if people are listening and they're like, oh, I'd be interested in working on that. Like, what are there like categories or are there things that you have in mind that people?
Yeah, so we'll be focusing on different categories or different issues surrounding the ocean, such as plastic pollution, habitat destruction, coral reefs, global warming.
We're tacking again.
Oh no, we're tagging again.
It's gonna be an interesting podcast. All the tack interruptions.
That's right. It's halfway sailing podcast.
All right.
Yeah, so we have different issues that we'll be focusing on, and the idea is we'll provide lots of resources and mentorship for people throughout the contest, so that if you've ever thought your hardware electronic skills could be put to use for helping the environment, then this is the contest for you. And it'll run so longer than the contest that we usually do, over the course of 8 months, so people can really develop prototypes and test them. And so usually we do contests for about 3 months, but this will be a bit longer.
Yeah. See, it's always the thing that I lament is like I love working on electronics, but it seems like a lot of the things that are like out there around contests or just even like projects that I think of, they're not particularly. My stuff's always trite. I feel like it's always like make this thing blink. And it's like okay, it's like, and I love making blinking things for sure, but like from a perspective of like actually helping people.
Yeah.
It seems like that's something along those lines where it could help. You know?
Yeah, and we're encouraging artists and designers and not just engineers to join, but people can join as teams and see what they have to contribute. So.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Are you thinking more like structural technology type things, like better waterproofing or better solar power or better like motors, or is it more high level like I want to make a ocean cleanup bot, right?
Yeah, I think a good mix of both maybe. I think we'll leave it open, but the idea is open source definitely. And then hopefully through, we'll provide mentorship throughout the contest so that people can develop ideas that can actually be put to use and deployed after the contest, and not just, a lot of contests I feel like they develop products that are good ideas necessarily, but don't necessarily work in the real world or work the way that scientists and conservationists work. So,
So mentorship from scientists and conservationists.
Throughout the contest.
Cool.
Yeah,
and I think that's the other thing too, is that like, so I've seen it in other contests where it's like, at the end of the day, you might have people that are working on something, but then it gets to the point where they're like, okay, cool, I really like doing this, but I can't make this a job, and that's ultimately one of the other problems of it's almost like unless there's enough dough to go around, that makes it difficult. So.
There's I'm interested in different models for how open source can work, and it's interesting, especially for in the conservation and science realm. There's products that are so niche and so specific to the needs of what a scientist may be working on. If they're working on a GPS tag for sea turtles or something like that, it may just be for that particular island or for that scientist. So it's hard to make these things widely available commercially. So it's a difficult model, I think, but there's ways of doing it.
Okay. Are we going to attack here again?
Yeah. Go on and blow tight.
I think we're catching a little wind, though. That's nice. Yeah. A little bit of wind.
Maybe.
This is definitely the oddest podcast I've ever recorded. But
I hope the sailing sounds came through.
All the creaking.
I think they will.
It's very peaceful, though.
Yeah.
We need Wi-Fi on the boat too.
Yeah, right.
You brought a hotspot, right?
I did.
And Chris brought a ton of electronics. What'd you bring?
I brought some stuff to work on. So I'm actually looking at a new project with an STM30, a low power STM32 on it.
Okay.
And I've never used that before, so I got one of those little Nucleo boards.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so just kind of getting the tool chain up and running.
Yeah.
So.
Does your battery have enough power to solder in? Your boat battery?
I actually brought a butane soldering iron.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah.
nice.
I got a new TS100 to the little laptop power supply ones.
Oh, cool.
But I didn't bring a laptop power supply because I forgot about that. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that so we're going to this outdoor conference, and it's like it kind of feels like like nerds in science in nature. It's
Yeah.
It's like
Nerds in nature.
it's not quite an abomination, but it's like we're definitely we're kind of bending the rules of like what camping's supposed to be, and
Yeah.
what do you?
Is it all going to be outdoors? Are there buildings there?
There's
or
I think they're gonna build like a dome. Like
Okay. A yurt.
Geodesic. Yeah, I
Okay.
think there's yurts as well.
Cool.
Yeah, this is kind of somewhere between nerd and like a hippie zone, So, yeah. So what about let's talk about Seattle. So so we're in Seattle right now. What's the scene like here for electronics and for people that are?
Ooh, good question. Well, I run a meetup, the Seattle Arduino meetup, which it's usually a pretty small turnout. We meet on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Once the first Tuesday of the month at Ada's Technical Books.
Oh, I went there actually. Yeah,
Or not, sorry. We used to meet there. Ada Developer Academy is where we now meet.
okay,
It's just a very
okay.
similar name. So that's right downtown. It's an all-female developer academy.
Oh, great. That's great.
Yeah.
And it's like that's like not a boot camp. It's more like a longer term type thing. Or what?
It's a year-long. I think it's a boot camp plus like an internship. So 6-month boot camp, 6-month internship.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So usually small turnout there. I think there's people here working on hardware. I would say I'm not the most plugged into like the Seattle hardware.
Okay.
Well, maybe I am.
Is there a makerspace in Seattle?
Oh yeah. There's Dodo Makerspace. Yeah, and then there's also Makerologist.
Right. Yeah.
That's Clarissa San Diego and Jen Foxbot Labs, and a bunch of other people that do cool stuff.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now there's a new meetup in town. That's 3H.
Oh, hey, competing meetup.
No, it's not competing. Like, that's the thing. It sounds like an Arduino one is like, it feels like it's very targeted to like learning and like having like specific goals. 3H is all about getting together and showing off projects and
cool.
like having
Yeah.
cocktails.
Yeah, that's cool. Is it what time does it meet?
That's the one. So that's going to be this coming Monday in
Okay.
Seattle. There's now one in 4 cities, maybe 5 soon.
How often is it?
It's usually monthly. So
monthly,
Scott,
okay.
Former guest of the show, Scott Shawcroft runs that.
Cool.
So yeah, that'll be on Monday. So if people are in town or listening, they should come stop by. Alessandra will be in town.
Yeah.
So you're down in San Francisco though, right?
I am. Yeah. I moved to San Francisco a couple years ago, and before that I was in New York. But yeah, I'm loving San Francisco.
How do you find the scene there? It seems a little. I'll stop putting words to it. It seems yes.
The hardware scene? Or?
Yeah, but just in general, the tech scene for you, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, Silicon Valley is definitely a bubble. I feel like both New York and San Francisco aren't the real world, but you know, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
No, the hardware scene's great. Met lots of great people, and the startup scene can be weird.
Silicon Valley is a documentary.
Yeah. It's sort of San Francisco's kind of a parody of itself sometimes. You know, with the whole scooter thing that happened. I don't know if you guys heard about that, the electric scooter. So there's a couple different companies that have built these electric Razor scooters.
Oh, wow.
And they just dumped them all on the sidewalk overnight and, you know, hoped for the best. I guess they didn't really get permission.
Oh my God.
And so now there's just scooters littering the sidewalks.
That's crazy.
And upsetting a lot lot of people. And I tried one out. They are very convenient, but they're so dorky. It's really embarrassing to be seen on one, I feel like.
Right.
But it saved my ass a couple times when I've been late. But
right. And I think that's the idea, right? It's like you don't get, like I saw There was an article in the Atlantic, I think. It was like, unfortunately, the scooters are fantastic. That was
I know.
right? It was like the guy's like, yeah, I'm in a suit and like I'm late for a meeting, and it's like I can't sweat. And DC is a swamp in those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm writing about those right now too.
Is there a way they can make them cool?
No. There's no chance of that.
I feel like if you wear a cape maybe and it's billowing behind you, or
it's probably better than those like hoverboards, right?
Yeah, that's
What do you
true.
do with your arms when you're on a hoverboard? I don't know if you like cross them, put them back.
It always weirds me out when I see those going uphill.
Yeah,
It just makes me do a
right.
double take.
Yeah. I think a lot of that stuff, like, so a lot of that stuff points to me is that, like, even though there's hardware startups out there, me and Dave talked last week about the OSIC headphones. I don't know if you saw that and how they failed. And like they were trying to develop something really new, right? And like, that didn't work out, fine, whatever. The thing that I think about though is that like most of the successful startups are just implementing technology in the real world, right? Like there is nothing fancy about the scooter. The scooters are off the shelf. They bolt on some control mechanisms and like quote unquote hardware startups are just like front ends for software companies.
Yeah.
And I find that very frustrating personally, but I mean, I guess it's good there's more hardware in the world, but like maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you were quoted as in a couple of different publications.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
About it, right?
I don't have. It's funny. I don't have any Twitter followers, but I tweeted about these scooters. I posted a picture of them parked in a tree because everyone's angry, so they're just,
throwing them all over the place.
Throwing them everywhere.
Yeah, right.
Posted a picture of them parked in a tree, and 3 media outlets got in touch with me, and someone from The Daily Show got in touch with me. They're going to do a bit on it, I guess.
Right.
It's just funny. I guess the media just latches on to something, onto a topic.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Those are easy to make fun of, too. Right?
Yeah. Right.
So San Francisco scene is all over the place, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, there's Noisebridge. There's great people there. There's, what else is there? Highway 1? Right?
Yeah, it's like an accelerator, right?
Yeah.
PCH.
What else? So Bolt is in Boston, right?
They're based out of Boston, but they have one at Pier 9. They have people there now.
Yeah.
So what are we hoping to learn at Tour Camp then? So we talked about ham radio stuff.
Yeah. Ham radio would be fun to learn. I did a high altitude balloon launch last year in Denver. I think technically we were supposed to have a ham radio license, but we just launched anyway. Didn't get in trouble. We did stay out of the way of planes and all of that.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
Yeah. But it was fun.
What was on that?
An Arduino and a Arduino Shield called the Habduino. It's specifically for high altitude ballooning.
Oh, great.
I honestly don't know anything about ham radio. I don't know if you guys can enlighten me about, like, my friend's dad, I remember, was really into it. We would go geocaching and he would bring his ham radio.
Oh, cool.
That was back in the day when like GPS was, you had to like have this like giant handheld thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It was really new. Now, like, what is the purpose? Like, I have a VHF on my boat. That's pretty great.
Yep.
Pretty important.
Yep.
I think
In fact,
technically
required legally.
So like on a VHF, there's channels on there, right?
Yeah.
And so that's meant for like marine channels, I think. I think there's marine channels.
Yep.
Ham radio, basically, though, you can tune in through a wider range, and you need to make sure you're okay on, like, understanding the rules and regulations. Like, that's the license as far as I understand it.
Okay.
You know? So I have a license, but I have not used it yet. So my hope at this thing is to sit down with a bunch of people who are hams and just watch them do their thing.
Yeah. I know. I think I want to learn through doing it.
And what is like, so you get all these different licenses. There's like tech and master, I don't know what they're called.
Technician, and then
general, and then
extra.
Extra amateur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Extra, not extra amateur.
That's us right now. We're extra amateur.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like to operate a ham radio, like how difficult, like what are we going to be learning today?
Well, apparently I watched a YouTube video where the guy actually said that just do the test, just memorize the test answers, and then learn after you get your license. Then you can actually do the learning, because you can only learn by doing. Which for me, I definitely am a kinesthetic learner.
Yeah.
I tried going through all the book, and not a lot of it makes sense. So. Unless I have it in front of me and I'm testing things out. At least that's the way I learn.
So the reason there's like such like a big book and all these questions is because it's really difficult.
I think it's
Like,
just
do you have to build your own ham radio, or is it just like?
No. This is so there's no electronics required when you're getting a license. So it used to be like it's like about understanding the different frequency bands that you're on.
Okay.
Understanding the rules about operating on them. Like so. If you have a license, can someone and you have a child with you, can the child hop onto the radio and operate?
Yeah.
And I believe the answer is no. And that's the thing. Like, it's a lot around like,
so
the rules and regulations.
And the procedures when you're in touch with someone else, and the things you say.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And so that's a lot of. And so I just memorized the answers and got my license, but I've not done it.
Could
since.
they make like a parallel ham radio that's just like easy ham radio?
I think this is easy ham radio. I mean, like, memorizing is easier.
No rules ham radio.
Oh,
Lawless ham radio.
Yeah, right.
Just like one channel where you can just like say whatever you want, and you just like get a radio that just has this one channel.
Yeah, right.
And you doesn't matter.
I think that would get real bad real fast.
Yeah. I think the idea is that ham radios are supposed. It's a hobby, but in case shit hits the fan and communications are knocked out, it can be used for emergency communication.
I should probably get that license because I sail a lot.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Or if there's a nuclear war or something,
right, of
we
course.
can communicate.
If there's a nuclear war, I live in Bremerton, so I'm gone.
So I think I actually had a Baofeng cheapo radio, and everybody hates on those in the ham radio community, but it's just like a programmable, you type in the frequency you want to transmit on, but I just never used it, because those kind of things have really low range. You need to actually tune into a repeater, right? And the repeater then bounces the signal to other people, right? It's higher powered, that kind of thing. A lot of things that I think people will have, like, so Fabienne, who's been on the show before, she said she's going to be doing a bunch of ham radio stuff at TorqueHam. And that's like she's gonna have a higher powered radio where we can actually tune in and get further distances, try and make contacts, like bouncing off the ionosphere, that kind of thing.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. And in ham radio, there's no centralized anything. It's all peer-to-peer or station-to-station kind of communication.
I mean, the repeater would be the centralized. Yeah. That's localized.
But the repeaters are also just people who have set up a station, right?
Yeah,
it's not.
Right.
It's just.
It's not like a cell phone
hobbyists.
service type thing. Right. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. So like I've taken the test. I'd like to, it's called Elmering for people that are learning. Like Elmering is the older person or the advanced person teaching the new person.
I'm just imagining Elmer. He probably has a big beard.
Yeah. That is correct, yes.
He's wearing like a raggedy t-shirt.
Yeah, right. Maybe a bit of a pot belly. We all know the look. Yeah.
We know Elmer, yeah. Thanks, Elmer.
But yeah, I'm excited too because so there will be a bunch of like a lot of the Great Scott Gadgets folks will be out with this thing.
Oh, cool.
So hack RFs and programmable SDR stuff galore. So
Cool.
Awesome.
That's cool. So any electronics learnings on your dockets for camp?
I'm trying to build just a simple remote trigger flashlight. So I have some XBs and.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Cool.
Oh, I brought a half-finished Raspberry Pi photo booth that I will hope to set up.
That's good.
That was supposed to be for the events, but my touchscreen didn't work, so I had to buy a new touchscreen.
Oh, okay.
Don't buy the cheapest touchscreen on Amazon.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I wonder if Amazon Prime now would deliver to your boat.
Drone delivery, right?
Yeah.
A little adjustment on the boat side of things.
Clicking. Do we need to tack again?
No, we're good.
We are not moving fast right now.
We're going 2.8 knots because there's a lot of current right now.
Are we really? It doesn't feel like we're moving at all.
I know, but
We
we're
need
passing
to
stuff.
bring out the oars.
I mean, 2.8 knots is like the speed of a slow walk.
Yeah,
We would walk to TorqueHam.
Yeah.
it's like a hike. Yeah.
200 feet's pretty deep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we do have some electronics on the boat here. So there's a ping sensor, right, down.
Fish, yeah.
What's it? Fish finder?
Fish finder / depth sounder.
Depth sounder.
Has a transponder, so it uses sonar.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yep, have to fill it up with water because it's inside the boat, so it only works if it's in underwater.
Oh, right.
They didn't want to drill a hole through the boat, I guess, so they make a little bucket.
Oh, so like resonates
Exactly,
through the water.
yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Huh.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of opportunity in like. So you mentioned the water. What's it called? The water thing that turns seawater into fresh water.
Oh yeah, water maker.
Water makers.
Yeah.
So like, is that just evaporative, or do you know? Or?
I believe it's evaporative. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for like, I feel like boats are kind of like an interesting thing because there's a lot of power constraints. There's obviously water constraints, and like, like if you develop for situations like this that are already pre-constrained, that it end up making interesting things for other industries, right?
It's true, yeah.
So like I know a lot of the tiny house community leans on the boating community for like heating and cooling and like fixturing, but I was thinking around electronics as well for like the water maker.
Yeah.
Like thinking about the ocean contest too. Like I'm not sure if that would be in the scope of that, but like desalination I think is a huge impact type of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, access to clean water is a huge problem everywhere in the world.
Right.
Or in a lot of places.
I heard Israel has like a lot of desalination machines that run on solar power because they're very energy intensive.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons that Israel has so much clean water. Like otherwise they wouldn't have naturally enough to give it.
Right, just because rainfall is not
Yeah, like most of the Middle East is like that, right?
Right.
How clean is the Puget Sound? Is it, do you know?
I think, I don't know. There's definitely some pollution here.
Let's try some.
It is very cold, by the way. We
Yeah,
jumped in
jump in,
yesterday.
Yeah.
Very cold, very refreshing.
And also, Victoria apparently dumps their raw sewage into Puget Sound. So
Oh, the Canadians? Really?
Canadians, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
So they need to stop doing that.
Yeah, that would be...
If you're listening to me, Trudeau.
That's gross. Yeah. Cool. Well, let's wrap this up. I think I am actually going to jump in the water here now that we're talking about it. It's like, yeah, that actually sounds kind of nice.
Don't forget to take
If
your
you
mic
don't
off.
make it back, can we edit? How do we edit this?
How do we edit it? I don't. Yeah.
We'll edit that part out.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I don't know what happened to Chris. Well, thanks for boating with me. This is sailing. Thanks for sailing.
Thanks for podcasting with me.
This has been
Thanks,
really
Chris.
fun.
Yeah. I've
right.
always wanted to be on the AMP Hour.
Yeah, we'll have more shorter shows throughout the week here
Cool.
at Tour
Yeah.
Camp. So
Hey.
stay tuned. Thanks.
Stay tuned. Bye.
Thanks.